Let's support Trump. Let's support Trump. Let me put my face up there. Let me do some talking points of the right wing. Yes, Goyam. Please, engage with me. Engage with me. Let me talk about 4chan. I'm a fellow 4chaner. Yoy vey. Okay. I found this dude. It's like, what the fuck, dude? The way I found him was because, as I made a video talking about 4chan losing, I seen this post of this guy talking about 4chan. Talking about the death of 4chan. Now, there was some strange things he talked about within the post. Now, to update certain things with 4chan, there is no .gov sites, not .gov sites, but .gov emails within the moderation. There was .edu, but not .gov. And I can't 100% confirm the other one with the Israeli stuff, but some people saying that that's from an archive. But at the same time, I do agree there was a bunch of Israeli influence within 4chan, particularly among the pro-Russian side. And this dude, his posts are so fake, you can say. What do I mean by this? He does all the talking points of a typical alt-right shill. And what do I mean by this? I don't mean by someone that has a mind of his own, but it's just spewing talking points. And you can say, well, that's a left-wing talking point as well. No, there's both left-wing and right-wing talking points. The point is, he's clearly a shill. A shill for either the Conservative Party or even the FSB themselves. Or the Israeli government. Because what people don't understand, like, 4chan was notorious for being pro-Russia. And where did most of the pro-Russian propaganda came from? Politically incorrect. Where did most of the Israeli spammers go to? They went to You could put two and two together. They want you to be pro-Russia. I don't understand the right trying to bootlick and even eat the shit of fucking pro-Russian propaganda. Russia is not your friend. They are fucking... If you want to say white people are bad, just point to Russia. Just point to them. They make everybody who's white look bad. Like, they're the HIV capital. They're the abortion capital. They are one of the most fucked up groups you can think of. They are not some people you should look up to. They are the definition of white trash. They are. And this motherfucker, like, I was going through his post, I was thinking, this guy's gotta be, it's weird how he says the talking point is saying that there was .gov. Now, at the start, a lot of people thought there was .gov until you look into it and then you realize, oh, there's no .gov. Even I thought there was .gov until I looked into it more. There's no .gov. There's .edu, but no .gov. But this pro-Russian shill, well, not really pro-Russia, he's more of RNC shill that it's connected to possibly Russia. I know some people like to say Russiagate's not real. The fact is, Russiagate was overblown at the start. But when that came out to being like considered overblown, now people don't believe there are Russian influence. All countries do some form of infiltration. That's a fact. All governments do that. And these types of people use the Russia, the quote to use Russia, say you're being paranoid about Russians, to scapegoat and say there is no Russian influence, knowing that Tim Pool, many of these other fuckers have been directly paid by Russia and they knew about it. This concept of Russia being base, and I'm getting fucking tired of this shit. Russia is not a base country. Everything about Russia is what you should not be as a European country. They're 25% Muslim there. They're killing their own people there. They were trying to go after Ukraine, which there is no reason to. There was even a post that a guy posted, and he kept deleting this one comment, and he kept deleting it. And he's like, "You stop censoring me," because he didn't say anything controversial. He kept one post up until the long post, because he had to read through it and all that. But you could tell that he was deleting it, and he was trying to deny, to say, "No, I did not delete. That's a YouTube part." Like, no, it isn't, dude. We know what you're doing. People on YouTube are one of the most sensitive people ever, ever. This is what I mean by the right. It's weird how the dichotomy has changed. Used to 10 years ago, the right would be principled and talk about right to self-determination, no globalization, nothing like that. And the left was all about globalization, don't believe in right to self-determination. And now it's flipped. Just look at it. A lot, now, not all the left. We do have tankies, but I'll talk about tankies just a sec. Like the big chunk of the left is starting to become nationalistic. Well, not really racial-wise, but more of what people used to see instead of seeing race. I know this fucker probably thinks, "Oh, well, you see a race, my fellow white nationalists. I'm totally not being paid by the RNC. I'm totally not a Fed," stuff like that. They see it in the more classical way of what nationalism was, which is believing your nation, your people, of course, but your people may be related to, like here in America, we are related to the British, but we're different from the British. We are Americans. We are totally different from them. We fought for our independence. We have values different from them. That's what makes nationalism so different. That's what the founding fathers believe. They do understand, yes, there's race and all that, but the fact is, race doesn't matter as much as people think it is. This neo white nationalist idea came from the ashes of a failed government in Germany, a failed dictatorship in Germany that got picked up by the lowest common denominator within the South. The South, the place where poverty is one of the most highest, drug use, just rural trash, the people that they can never achieve anything because a lot of them have inbreeding and such. The Hicks. They do that to cope and compensate. But this fucker is trying to pretend, "Oh, I'm a fellow conservative. I'm not totally being paid by some group or possibly from the government itself," because what people don't understand, people think the feds would be always left-leaning. No, they can be right-leaning too. It's determined who's in office. And we see right now, this motherfucker, it's being part of the right-wing feds or group of conservative paid, because you see like videos of him being pro-MAGA, wearing the hat, even though all the stuff Trump said he was going to do has failed, fucking failed. Like, those tariffs pretty much going away. All the important tariffs going away. We sure as it did to China, of course. I have to agree with that. But the problem is, how are we going to do it if we don't have the factories? How come we are not trying to defend our values? How come we're not trying to defend a country that's being invaded by, Russia, who clearly hates us and everything about us? He hates you, motherfucker. He hates you. And you just you will let Vladimir Putin eat your shit and swallow it. That's you. You're a shit eater. You're a bootlicker. The boot is in your throat. I can see the notches of the boot in your fucking windpipe. I don't understand these fucking conservatives now. I don't know what the fuck happened. Well, is it something in the water? Did RNC Jr. made his own concoction of poison, put in the waters of conservatives, and now they're pro-third worldist government? That's what they are now. They're global, as I say, they're global homo, but instead of being global homo, they're global China. It's funny because he made that current post saying, yeah, China is the enemy now. But used to months ago, he'd be like, China's not a bad group of people. You have no fucking principles. That's the problem we see in conservatives. This happened 10 years ago with the left. And now the left has more principles, and you fuckers are thumbering the ball so bad. You have to defend a person, Trump, who has done nothing in his first term. You say, well, how about second term? He done good at this. What, you mean destroy the economy? Destroy everyone's 401ks? Oh, gonna make everything go up? Oh, those egg prices, they gone down. No, they're not. They're back up again. You just don't care. You don't care what you want to say. You're just a shill. You're a fucking shill for some conservative think tank who's trying to pretend you're one of us. You're one of the 4chan people. Oh, I'm 4chan. No, you're some fucking operative. You're clearly some operative. Talking all the points that I hear all the time on Twitter with these fucking conservatives. You're a shill. You're clearly some sort of shill. You don't have no opinions. I guarantee you're being paid. The views you get for what controversial shit you talk about. You should not be getting the views you get. I'm sorry, like talking about Israel in the way you do, talking about certain other topics, how are you not banned? How are you not banned? You're clearly a shill. I know when I see someone who glows in the dark, I see it all the time on fucking Odyssey. I see it all the time on Rumble. You're just someone who's doing talking points. You're doing talking points either by the Russian government, the Conservative Party, or by the FBI. Clear as day. Oh, even Mossad. Even Mossad. You could be part of Mossad. Because, fun fact, a lot of people on 4chan were Israeli. And who did they support the most? Russia. I found so many posts of pro-Russian shills who had their flag, and it was Israeli all the time, all the fucking time. If not, they hide their flag. That was so common. That was so fucking common. So this motherfucker is trying to pretend he's one of the 4chan people. He's clearly not. He's someone probably being paid. His account has like it's over a year old. He's someone that's just being paid. I think he's being told by its handlers to talk about topics that the conservatives want to hear to keep them in line. This is not organic. He's not an organic person. You could just tell. It's so easy. I was like thinking this guy's talking about 4chan. He seems interesting. And it's like look at the other part. It's like, oh, I see what this is. And then he starts to ban people if you bring it up. He starts to censor you. It's like, come on. We know what you are. Stop pretending that your talking points is too easy to find out. It's like, come on. Get over yourself.